After all the years of struggling against the Spurs, how did you guys do what you did this season against them?
I think we played good defense. I think our first half defense was excellent. I think that when they started to make a mini run, and I felt like they did it twice, in the second half, we responded primarily through like the turnover stuff and the foul stuff. We had a little, mini meltdown in the third period with some crazy turnovers, but by and large, I thought our defense was the thing that stood out most to me.
But can you just talk about the balance? It was, there wasn't one guy who just, they all had pretty good games, but you know what I mean? It was like a balanced attack.
Yeah, it was, and I thought our bench, was good. I thought the Justin off the bench was really good. I think that the single turnover really, which was late off the bench, Larry had a late turnover. We were solid from that perspective. You look at the numbers, Ben was, 10 for 11 from the field, and at times was just dominant. And I thought Joe had a good game. I thought Joe had a solid game. And so did the starting five. It's hard, like you say, to anoint anybody. I think it was a fantastic team effort. We stayed focused throughout all 48 minutes and did an excellent job of defending them.
The Spurs scored a season low of 78 points. What was the game plan going into tonight's game?
We have the luxury with our length that we switch a lot. And, can you guard the first dribble? Because when you switch, you're at times disadvantaged with guys that can play downhill. And I thought that our guys really played lower and slid their feet and showed their hands. And we kept the game in front of us. We really did a good job of not getting beat on the first dribble. And I think that defensively, because we have that type of length, that if you can do that and keep the game in front of you, you really get a chance to be an elite defensive team. And when you have Joel Embiid behind you, it even gives you a greater chance. And so all that equaled like that type of low number that they scored.
How did rebounding factor into all of this?
You got to finish the play. That is the end of the Krebs cycle. Like you do whatever you got to do to get back, and do whatever you got to do in a defensive possession, but you got to finish it, and then the cycle starts again.
Coach, can you talk about? Sorry.
Everybody's excited to ask a question.
So many questions today.
Yeah, go for it.
Coach, can you talk about Dario's performance and also his development for those 2 seasons for you guys?
We have a very young nucleus, of our key players. It's Dario. You forget how few games. Dario never really gets mentioned, and they're kind of young. They haven't really played a lot of basketball. It's true with Dario. He hasn't really played a lot of NBA basketball. And Ben we get, and Joel, is doing what he's doing. But those three really, by NBA standards and experience standards, it's minimal, to be polite. And what he's been doing, and what he did last year, where I thought he, was legitimate Rookie of the Year candidate, is a reflection of what he did in Europe. Like, he played high-level basketball for a while now. And I think that his development with his three-point shot, his development with understanding NBA basketball and being a part of our system has been progressive and noticeable.
I know this game just ended. Joe played about under 30 minutes tonight. Do you know if there's any chance if he could play the 2, Oklahoma City and Milwaukee?
No, I can't give a definitive answer to that question. It's a fair question, one that we're all kind of excited to learn more about as well. But there's no decision as we speak.